super, I was about to say throat, but y'all don't know me like that. Girl, Kim Kardashian got on Twitter to tell us that she had told her family to social distance, to quarantine for almost 2 weeks, get tested, and she flew all of them out to a private island. And all of them were able to escape the virus. Like that was something nice. Let me tell you all something. That was the most trashiest ever. And for you say, it's her money. It's not her money. It's not her money. It's all our money. It's all about money. I'm not going to explain how that is all our money. Or people who work for her or do whatever. There is no reason for people to be having that much money to fly out an entire family to a private island and having them be wined and dined in the middle of a pandemic where we're seeing people lose their jobs. We're seeing people not being able to go to work. I've been watching CNN amped up since March. Like I've been watching the hell out of it. And I'm watching now photographers take pictures of folks getting evicted. To document it as a snapshot of time. And you're seeing old elderly folks getting put out. You're seeing black and brown folks getting put out of housing and stuff. I don't want to see no white woman who has stolen from the culture fly her whole anti-black family out to a private island spending money like that. I don't. You can call it whatever you want to. You can call it jealous. Hell yes, I am jealous. I'm jealous for all the other folks who are suffering because somebody like Kim Kardashian is holding on to all their wealth, holding on to all that money and able to live in luxury. She has so much money that she is able to escape and create an own reality for herself. What does that tell you all? What does that mean? That a system allows someone to hold that much wealth and everybody else is out here struggling to make it. That's not a system that I want to live in. Call it whatever you want to. You can get Trump to make a socialist campaign against the kingeries or whatever. But there is no reason why. Even watching Joe Biden's little ad pissed me off the other day when he was talking about scrapping and folks working and busting hard to make it. We shouldn't be out here doing none of this shit. Why are we out here doing it? Why? When other folks ain't out here doing none of the work, it's all of us making them all the money. So what does that make? That don't even make any sense. Like it don't even make any sense. Like we gonna struggle. We gonna be out here living a check to check. We out here working these jobs and stuff. But these folks out here hoarding millions and billions of dollars. And you seen what Bernie Sanders was talking about the other day. That billionaires have raked up like $300 or $400 billion during the pandemic. The pandemic has only been here since, like, we're gonna say from March to now. That's like only 6-7 months, and they've been all that money. And what did we got? Only $1,200. $1,200. That's it. And some folks probably didn't even get that. Some folks' money probably got snatched. Some folks' money was already spent. People are getting evicted. People are getting evicted. When this eviction moratorium stuff goes out, in January, folks are gonna have to go back and pay all of this past debt. Like when that money's not going, that debt's not gone. You still got to pay that. People still have to pay that. And even if they even started the process of eviction, that's a blemish on their public record, on their credit report. I'm gonna tell you, as somebody who has had evictions and is currently right now looking for apartments, are able to afford apartments, probably won't get approved for one because I have an eviction. My credit in the 700s. And I'm still nervous to this day from something I did back in 2015. Like I'm nervous applying for an apartment and seeing that come up and then I get denied. Or not worst case scenario, even worst case scenario, again getting denied. And then, oh girl, well you can just give us, you got to pay us more per month, or you got to pay us a huge deposit. Who has money like that? If I'm already disadvantaged. What makes you think that I got more money? If I've been evicted before, why should I have to give you even more money? If I'm not being able to pay these bills and stuff and I'm struggling, why do I have to pay more? Why do I have to pay more? That doesn't make any sense. So you're gonna capitalize off the fact that I can't afford it? It just, see what I'm saying? Like, think about it. For the folks, it shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that at all. And I know I got off track, but when I started talking about this stuff, it'd be really, really getting to me, because I'm thinking about like Kim Kardashian having the money and the ability to be to fly all these folks out for however long for her birthday, and folks can't even, people don't even know what a birthday is right now because they're not able to see that. And it's not Kim Kardashian's fault. It is people like Kim Kardashian's fault. So it's not even about Kim Kardashian. She is just the moment right now that I'm talking about. But it's the same folks, everybody else. All these folks out here just capitalizing off all of these things and just making money. Like, and then they donate $50,000 through Fashion Nova, and they thought they did something for the community. When Fashion Nova out here stealing from other folks. I don't. But the girls who've been going to these hotel rooms and shit, they've been, girl, I guess it's worth your life. Because, girl, y'all have really taken advantage of these $30 hotels. Because Las Vegas show been hitting me up on Instagram asking me to fly out. I'm like, girl, I don't know. Maybe after the election, we're going to see. But yeah, I'm not, call me a socialist, call me whatever you need to call me to get you through the night. But I'm not here for one person being able to have enough money to do all that. And I'm seeing so many millions of people who have now been pushed into poverty. They ain't slipped and fall into poverty. They've been pushed into poverty because the government hasn't cared about them to protect them doing all of this. And y'all steady talking about open up the government, open up the lines. Y'all telling us to open up business and stuff when Corona out here wreaking havoc. There's no purpose of us opening up if we're still dealing, like, people are not going to movies. I'm not going to the movies spending no money. I'm not buying anything. I'm not out here doing anything. I'm not out here traveling. I'm not doing it because I'm nervous. And people who want to spend money, who can spend money, are not going to be able to because they're nervous. Like, the folks who are taking advantage of like right now, all these deals are folks who jobs have not been impacted and really don't have that much critical thinking skills. Like, they just like, girl, I won't catch it. And it's really selfish. It's like really selfish. Like, everybody is being extremely selfish. All these parties and stuff that's going on. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, I can't deal. So let's talk about this election a little bit as I'm talking about so many things. I told you all, I already voted. I already cast my ballot last week. I was not one of those folks. I was very uninterested in participating in the election this year. But after COVID, just seeing all of this, I said we have to get this under control. We have to get this under control. Like, at the very least, I need this under control, and then work a way for us to do what we need to do. But that's my politic. I'm not encouraging anybody to vote. Because I think black folks have suffered enough and they have put enough in. If black folks don't feel like voting, they ain't got to vote. But I am amazed in seeing some of the black folks being resilient and coming out and saying, you know, I'm voting this election. I'm voting. I'm not. We got to get this nut out the White House. Black folks are standing in lines 3 hours and they shouldn't have to. Like, I'm watching videos of folks standing in line and like doing the early voting and folks saying, oh, this is amazing. This is democracy. No, this is not democracy. Well, this is not what you think it is, girl. So let's talk about voting. Let's talk about it a little bit, because I've been seeing this conversation. Kamala Harris has been on campaign trail talking about it, saying do it for the ancestors. Girl, you locking the ancestors up, girl. So we don't need you to speak on the ancestors. But our ancestors, my ancestors, your ancestors, did not die for voting rights. They did not. John Lewis did not die for voting rights. He did not get his ass beat for voting rights. I think we're starting to miss, we really think that voting is the thing that we really need to solve problems, when in actuality it's really not. I'm gonna explain something to you. This right here is the freedom. This is Miss Voting. This is black folks. This is black folks. I need for black folks to want to get to here. I need them to get there. I need for them to get to freedom. Voting is saying, girl, I don't know about this one this week. I don't know about this one. It seems that we're so focused, like we don't even see it because it's blocked out. Y'all can't see it right now. But we can't even see voting. We can't even see freedom because we're too busy looking at voting. We're too busy thinking, oh, voting is where it's at. Like, that's what I really need. No, we are looking for liberation. We're looking for freedom. And it might not ever come through from voting. It just might not, ever. It just might not. And then you look at all the obstacles, the small obstacles stopping people from voting. You have the stuff going on in Harris County and Texas, where the Republicans are arguing to throw out and destroy 100 and something thousand drive-through ballots because these folks voted through a drive-through in the middle of a pandemic, and now they're saying, no, we can't do this. Y'all can't change the state laws. After they had already said they was going to do this, like it's a pandemic, we have to change and we can't do the tradition of going in a building and vote. Luckily, the judge has thrown it out. The federal court judge threw it out. The Supreme Court in the state of Texas is throwing stuff out and saying, girl, no ma'am, this ain't it. The fact that we have to even be nervous about a system that is allowing something like that to happen lets me know that the system is corrupt. I should be out here praying, hoping, oh my gosh, I hope that they do honor that. It should be automatic. I should be voting for something like that. You act like we voting for fucking potato salad to be the state flag or something. Like we're voting for folks. We're trying to give folks some type of laws to protect themselves or something. Like something in a little piece of crumb you giving us, this little piece of freedom that you want to call us freedom when it's really not. You don't even want to give that to them. You found ways to mismatch. So when people talk about voting, how important voting is, do you see how like disenfranchised and black folks are coming in? You see the results when folks saying like black folks, black and brown people are more likely to have their ballots, their mail-in ballots, rejected than their white counterparts. This is the system that y'all are talking about. This is the system. So I want folks, I'm not going to tell folks not to vote. I'm not going to tell people not to vote. I'm not going to tell folks to vote either. Do what you need to do to protect yourself. Do what you need to do to protect yourself. But just understand that this system that we keep participating in is probably not going to be the thing that gets us liberation and freedom. It might look like it, but I'm not interested in fighting another 600 years in that. And to push back to some of my radical folks, and I had a conversation with my friends the other night, me being off of Twitter the last 2 weeks, I really thought that voter enthusiasm was down. But in that, I got out of the echo chamber and I was able to see so many young folks involve themselves in the voting, electoral college, and all these things, like getting out. And we don't know what's going to happen next week. Tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We really don't. But the fact that you got this idiot on this TV throwing doubt on the election before the votes are counted, saying, oh no, we need to know election night, when that normally never happens anyway. Like, you gonna say after 12 o'clock, girl, the votes ain't tallied up. Why don't you invest money in making sure that everybody's able to vote quickly so we wouldn't be having to do this? But y'all know what y'all doing, because it's not about that. It's just that he knows there's a strong possibility that his ass might lose. So he's doing everything in his power, which is crazy to me. Like, this person has the power to be able to do this. It's crazy. Then I'm looking at videos of like just his supporters out here just doing crazy shit, like chasing a bus, like the Biden-Harris campaign bus. Like you got the supporters, like the Trump supporters behind with flags, and it ain't just big pickup trucks. It ain't them hillbilly white folks. It was also a Mercedes-Benz out there. So it ain't just your toothless white Texan. It's these folks who are managers, supervisors, probably district managers, CEOs. All them folks are racist. And they are just as trash. So we got to get out of this idea that everybody out here that's voting for Trump is idiot and stupid. No, girl. No, girl. Stop. Stop thinking that just because someone has a degree, come on, Miss Wendy, that they somehow care about black and brown folks. Or just because they're in a position of power at their job that they care about folks. That they're a good person. Because they've got success, they have to be a good person. No. A lot of the richest folks are some of the most corrupt. They're able to maneuver through the system and be able to steal wages and stuff from folks to make them rich and to keep them rich. You see all the rich celebrities came out and said they didn't want to pay that much in taxes. See how the celebrities complained about taxes going up, but have no problems telling us every day that they out here spending $1 million on parties and doing all these things. So I don't really give a damn about y'all being taxed at the high head, because it seems like y'all got so much money that y'all don't know what to do with it. So I'm interested in this continuation of the conversation of folks spending so much money on frivolous things. Why folks out here suffering. I'm glad this conversation is happening because it's really always been stupid to me from the beginning. I just didn't understand it because I was still speaking from anti-blackness, but now I understand it even more, and probably understand it 5 years from now even more. But that's my conversation. I done went into a whole tirade talking about Kim Kardashian and that whole thing. I think it was just really, really irritating seeing all the things that are going on. And I'm very concerned about my people. Like, I'm very concerned because I'm seeing a lot of this conversation of saying that our ancestors have died for the right to vote. No, they were dying for freedom. They never died for voting. They died for freedom. They thought that voting was the tool to get them to freedom. But we are seeing in this generation that that might not be the case. And I can say I don't think it is. Not the type of freedom I want. Not when folks are still being locked up. Now we still got black and brown folks in jail. Like, now we got kids in cages by both administrations, by Obama's administration and Joe Biden's foreseeable administration too. He'll be locking folks up too. So this constant conversation on just voting, it's just like we forgot about the freedom. Like we're still seeing they're finding ways to be able to keep us out of certain things. Even through black folks. Even through black celebrities. Even through black folks in positions of power like your Clarence Thomas. Even your Barack Obamas. A conversation a lot of folks ain't ready for. Because he was dropping bombs too. Let's talk about it. I know some of y'all don't want to hear it, but girl, we gonna get there. We gonna get there, but our job is to educate our folks and let them know what's going on so we can build a better coalition, because I think that's what's important. I think black folks need to understand the world around them. Me and my other friend was having a conversation about people telling kids that they are the future. You had Obama telling folks y'all are the future, and he was in this conversation, and this speaker was saying y'all are not the future. Y'all are not the future. And focusing more on letting them know what type of world they are in, and allowing them to be kids to be able to, like, I'm not going to put on you that you are the fate of the future. You should not be. We should be telling no 15-year-old, like, girl, I just want to play Pokemon Go. Like, I want to be able to do this. And you telling me I got to save the world. Like, who the hell am I, Spider-Man? It's a whole conversation. Maybe we'll dive into that a little bit more on future episodes and stuff. But that's that. What else I want to move on to? I want to talk about black male celebrity and how they are not going to save us. You had Lil Wayne seemingly endorsing Trump, took a picture with him, and kind of did the same thing that Ice Cube did. Lil Wayne has been the biggest raccoon on the face of this planet. He's been tap dancing from the beginning of time. And you know what? And sometimes I really want to drag Lil Wayne, but he's a product of white supremacy. He was locked up. So the same folks that threw him in jail, the same system that threw him in jail, he is now out here like praising this system for getting him out, which he should have never been put in the cage to begin with. Ooh, girl, is this the abolitionist speaking out of me? Ooh, it's coming. Ooh. But Lil Wayne coming out, like every time Lil Wayne does something raccoonish, the ghost of a raccoon comes and takes one of his dreads out, one of his locks out. Like he just lose another piece of his crown. Girl, it's too much for me. It's too much for me. I really can't deal with it, y'all. But it doesn't surprise me. Lil Wayne has been constantly like saying idiotic stuff, and it's just a mess. I don't have time. I'm very, very tired. What else I want to talk about? Also, I wanted to talk about, girl, be funny real quick. Cardi B has dismissed her divorce from Offset. I wonder how long before she pick it back up. I guess in the time that Offset picks up another woman in their marriage. Girl, a mess. I really don't blame Cardi B for getting back with him. Sometimes folks just like, it's okay. I don't think for me that cheating is a deal breaker. It might not be a deal breaker for her. Everybody's relationship is different. But if it's causing you pain and it's not making you happy, you need to get out. If you can get out safely. So y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. I'm gonna end on talking about Mike Tyson. Apparently his daughter was the one that told him that he needs to call Boosie out for that thing with Zaya Wade. Shout out to Mike Tyson's daughter. Shout out to young folks holding their parents accountable. I do it too. I had to let my mama know about some stuff where she was misgendering someone, not purposely, but even if you're not purposely doing it, you still need to be corrected. And then I don't like when folks get irritated when you try to tell them about, hey, you're misgendering this person. like have a conversation with them. Like it just seems like, oh, I don't want to learn this, and I don't ever hope I ever get to the point that I don't want to learn anything else. Like I'm just done. Like there are some stuff I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure about, I'm not sure. But I don't want to ever get to the point where I don't want to learn anymore. Like I don't want to, especially when this, if I don't learn, there's a possibility of me hurting someone in that process. I mean, I have my foot on somebody's neck. I don't want to do that. I don't want to live in that type of world. But, girl, I think that's about it. Beyonce and her Adidas campaign. The outfits look really, really good this time. Our favorite capitalist, she came out dropping some new stuff. Love that for her. She looked excellent. She looked beautiful on the cover of British Vogue. She looked beautiful. Beyonce is a legend. She is out here living her life. Y'all check out her interview. It was actually really good. She's been having a good time apparently during the quarantine and stuff. And she said she done found joy. Shout out to her. I bet you can, you know, find some joy if you worth $500 million. Must be nice. It is election eve. I guess that's what I'm gonna title at the beginning of this conversation, election eve. Girl, it's just how my fifth spirit right now. I don't know. I really want to record my thoughts and how I feel like it's gonna go tomorrow and release it depending on what happens. But I'm a little bit confident, but I'm very, very nervous. I'm really confident, and I'm trying to be confident that there's going to be just no destruction. But I feel like it's going to be inevitable at this point. You got businesses boarding up in New York and in DC. This has never happened. Let me just reiterate, I don't think Trump is the problem, but he's definitely a catalyst for it. He's definitely pouring gasoline. Racism existed way before Trump. It will exist after him, but he's literally pouring a gasoline. And it really feels like the beginning of a civil war right now. And I'm not even playing. I'm not even playing right now. And I'm just not sure if I'm ready for so many black folks to be suffering in the process of that, because I don't know if a lot of us is ready for that right now. And I think we got to give black folks a little bit more knowledge before we get into that type of stuff. But girl, I'm talking, I'm going in, I'm letting have, I'm doing all these things. I will be going live tomorrow to talk about the election and giving y'all thoughts. Make sure you go to kingareads.com, get you a mask, honey. If you are someone that wants a mask, and probably in this position that you can't afford one, you can't get one, give me some time. The first batch is just to see how everybody likes them, and then I will come back. But I'm going to make sure that I do my best in making sure that everybody is able to get a mask that wants one. If you can afford it, if you can't afford it. So give me some time. I love y'all so much, and until next time, I'll talk y'all later tonight.